commencing form, shift weight to the right, heel comes up, on your toe, open, toe, arch heel, hands rotate to the middle of the thighs. Take a deep breath in as we elevate both hands at shoulder level. Drop your shoulders, flex your knees. Left hand in the center, right hand rises up higher as you glance, open palms to the ceiling. Bring the back hand to your ear, turn your head and neck, meet both hands in the middle as you repulse the monkey. Center the right hand, left hand rises up higher as you glance. Bring it to the ear, turn your head and neck, meet hands in the middle, repulse of the monkey. T stance, parallel and higher. We're going to set it up correctly, multi, and magic of turning your hips and waist to brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, T stance, set it up correctly, multitask, turn the hips and waist. There's your magic. Sit back, sit down, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance, out on an L stance, move that energy to part the wild horse's mane. Here's your snack. Sit back, sit down, pivot, center on a T with a ball, out on an L, move that energy to part the wild horse's mane. Flip the forward hand, join it with the back hand, cloud hands. Sit back, sit down, pivot 12 o'clock, stem cup. Out to the 9 o'clock, flip the hands, join the feet. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, two things happen. Flip and open, stem cup 12, 9 o'clock only, flip hands. Use your hips and waist to make your upper body move. 3 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip and open. 3 o'clock, only flip your hands. 12 o'clock, shift your weight to the left, push down, bring it up. Golden cockerel. Down, start the spiral higher, push down, bring up. Semicircle, tuck the elbows closer to the dantian. Follow your right hand, right foot. Shift weight, semicircle, center, tuck elbows, follow left hand, left foot. Holding your ball on a T stance, we're going to take an L, generate that energy to ward off. Forearm. Turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center the body, push the energy out. Separate and roll back and sit down. Spiral up, then forward. Twist step, T stance, L stance, ward off. Turn hips and waist, reposition hands, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, push the energy from the center, separate the hands, roll back and sit down, spiral up and forward. Twist step, twist step, twist step. Shift weight, right hand on the inside, rotate at the wrists, bring it closer to your chest, push away. Separate the hands, drop the shoulders, tuck the elbows, let gravity close your form. Okay, I want to look at grasping of the bird's tail to close, okay? So this is the last grasping of the bird's tail, and I want to emphasize and focus on how do you close. Okay, how do you close? You're in a bow stance, sit back, twist. What did I say? Pivot, 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 shift weight, right hand on the inside, rotate on the wrist, bring it up, bring the tiger closer to you, push him away. Separate the hands, energy. Drop your shoulders, tuck the elbows, flex your knees, let gravity take care of you, okay? Gonna follow me now with better closing. So what am I looking for when I say a better closing? So one more time. Twist. The hands sort of mimic the foot. Twist, twist or pivot, pivot in, shift weight, cross first, right hand inside the cross, shift that weight, or bring that foot closer, tuck the elbows. See, my elbows are not here, they're tucked in. Shoulder or chest level, shoulder level. I then stop the bringing my hands up. I push from my left wrist, push that energy out, separate, and then hands go for the ride. How do the hands go for the ride? I just leave them there, and I just drop my shoulders, flex my knee. Gravity takes care of all the rest as you now close your form, okay? Practicing that one. Left foot forward, right foot 45 degree, push out. We've just finished grasping of the bird's tail. Sit down, sit back, twist, 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 shift weight, cross, right hand and the inside. Then bring the foot in, tuck the elbows as you rotate on your wrists. Both palms are facing, push in, push away, separate. Wear your mittens. What do I mean when I wear your mittens? Tuck the elbow, drop the shoulders, flex the knees, wrap around, heel up on the toe, off the ground, closing form. One more time, getting it a little bit better, okay? A little slower this time. Push out. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Pivot out. Pivot in. Shift your weight to the left foot. Tuck the right hand inside the cross. Then bring the foot to close. Rotate on the wrist so that now both palms are facing you as you rise up. Push the tiger closer to your body. Push him away by using that left energy of the left hand, separating shoulder width. Now, how do the hands go for the ride? Drop your shoulders, flex your knees. Gravity takes care of you as you wrap around, heel up, off the ground, close your form, okay? Here we go with another 10 form. Commencing form. Shift weight to the right as your heel comes up on your toe. Open, toe, arch, heel, hands rotate. Deep breath in as we elevate. Shoulder level, reverse the process, drop your shoulders, flex your knees. Left hand in the center, right hand up higher, glancing at the back, open to the ceiling, bringing the back hand to your ear, watching it through, meet in the center as we pulse a monkey. Notice where my left hand is, it's skimming and touching my hips. Center the right hand, left hand up higher, glance, bring it to the ear, turn your head and neck, meet hands in the middle, slide forward, slide back, repulsing of the monkey. T-stance, parallel and higher. Set it up correctly. Multi, turn the hips and waist. Magic, brush knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T-stance, set it up correctly. Multitask, ear, hand, heel. Turn hips and waist, hands go for the ride, brush knee, magic. Sit back, sit down, pivot, center with a ball on a T-stance. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Out on an L, move that energy to the tips of your finger. Here it is. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down with the ball on a T, out and to the side, L stance, part the wild horse's mane. Flip the forward hand, join it with the back hand, cloud hands. Sit back, sit down, pivot, 12 o'clock, stem cup. Left heel, pivot out to the 9 o'clock. Flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 3 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, open the feet. Stem cup middle. 9 o'clock, only flip the hands. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 3 o'clock, two things happen. the hands, close the feet. Stem cup. 9 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. Middle stem cup. We want to get out of cloud hands, so at 3 o'clock, we're only going to flip our hands. At 12 o'clock, we're going to shift our weight and become a golden cockle. Push down, push up. Start the spiral higher, push down, push up. Down, semicircle to the dantian, tuck the elbows, and follow with your eyes and your hand, kick out. Semicircle, swivel on that axle, bring it up, and follow. Holding our ball on a T stance, we're going to ward off. Out on an L, move the energy to forearm your opponent. Bow stance. Turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, grasp the bird's tail as you watch your hands and turn at the hips and waist. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body. Push the energy out and separate it. Roll back and sit down. Spiral up, lunge forward. Sit down, sit back. Twist step, left hand on the bottom, hold your ball on a T stance. Out on an L, move the energy to forearm your opponent. Turn the hips and waist, reposition your hands to grasp the bird's tail. Turn at the hips and waist. Contact, turn again at the hips. Push the energy, separate your hands, roll back and sit down. Spiral up, then forward. Twist, twist, twist. Tuck the right hand in as you shift your weight. Close the feet. Rotate on your wrists. Bring the tiger closer to your body. Push him away one last time. Separate the energy. Wear your mittens. Drop your shoulder. Flex your knees as you now close your form. Okay, so grasping of the bird's tail is warding off. You're using your forearm to push your opponent away. If you're in the optimal position, you will not be taken down by your opponent. So that is the thinking. If you do not understand what is the prime position, perhaps you would give way to your opponent. I'm not stable. My Tai Chi posture disappeared. I will fall. In everything that we do, if we don't have a good spine and a good posture, more than likely we're going to fall forward in this particular case. So what do? Tai Chi is a discipline. It teaches us good form, good posture that can be applied in everything that we do. So if we're centered here and we want to come out, we need to keep our spine straight up. We cannot leave room so that we follow our hand. This is not only the case in warding off. Perhaps we want to follow our hand and fall in parting of the wild horse's mane, but we should keep our spine straight up, straight up. So no matter what you're thinking in force, the force and the stability comes with good Tai Chi posture. From this point, all you do is turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands. As if you're grasping the bird's tail, I'm still in a bow stance, still straight up. My knee is not beyond my toe, and my spine is straight up. I sit down, I sit back. I turn at my hips and waist to look back. I contact, I turn at my hips and waist, center of the body, push the energy out. Good Tai Chi posture, separate the hands, sit down, sit back. Energy stored in the back foot, come up, lunge forward, only for good Tai Chi posture, good optimal position. Other side, twist, ball, T, out L, ward off, only to give you some space. If you go beyond that, you know that you're going to be out of Tai Chi posture. At this point, you turn your hips and waist because you've already established that distance. That's optimal or prime. Reposition your hands. still in a bow stance. You're going to use the power of sitting back, sitting down, storing that energy on the back or left foot this time. Contact, turn at the hips and waist. Energy now generates out, rolls back, and sit down to store yet more energy. Then release that energy to recycle. Okay, let's try that from the two grasping of the bird's tail, first warding off. Left foot storing your energy on a T stance, right hand on the bottom, right foot weightless. Here we go, root down on the left, okay? Out on an L, ward off, set that space. Turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist to center, then push the energy out, separate the hands, sit down, roll back, spiral up, lunge forward. Other side, make it better. Sit down, sit back, twist step, left hand on the bottom, left foot ready to go. Out on an L, move the energy, bottom hand advances to ward off your opponent. Set that space, turn the hips and waist, reposition the hands, sit down, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center of the body, distribute that energy, rotate, roll back, sit down, spiral up, then forward. Let's take a look at closing form. This is a bow stance, sit back, sit down, pivot, open, pivot, in, pivot, right hand inside the cross, shift your weight to the left foot, close the foot, rotate on your wrist so that now both palms are at your chest level, bring the tiger closer to you, push him away, separate your hands, tuck the elbows, drop the shoulders, flex the knees. Gravity takes care of you as you now close your form. Okay, round 3, 10 form, moving forward because every time you do the 10 form, you gradually move back, okay? So we made that adjustment, good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, having some sense of relaxation, yet disciplined enough to think through your movements. Shift weight to the right, heel comes up, on the sole, on the toe, off the ground, open, toe, arch heel, rotate to the middle of your thighs. Deep breath in as you elevate both hands, shoulder level, tuck the elbows, drop the shoulders, flex the knees. Left hand stays in the front, right hand up higher, open to the ceiling as you glance, bring it to the head, turn your head and neck, repulsing of the monkey, slide to your hips and waist. Center, glance to the left, open to the ceiling, bring it to the head, turn your head and neck, slide forward, slide to the hips. T stance, parallel and higher, set it up correctly. Multi, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee for magic. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, set it up correctly on a T. Multi, 3 things happen. Turn hips and waist, sweep around to brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, center with a ball on a T. Out and to the side, we're going to part the wild horse's mane. Here it is. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down on a T, holding your ball. Out on an L, bottom hand advances to part the wild horse's mane. Flip the forward hand, join it with the back hand. Sit down, sit back, twist step 12 o'clock, stem cup. Pivot with your left heel out to the 9 o'clock, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. Middle cup, 2, 3 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. Middle cup, 9 o'clock, only flip the hands. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 3 o'clock, 2 things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. Middle cup. 9 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. 12 o'clock stem cup. Again, to get out of cloud hands, so only flip the hands at 3. 12 o'clock stem cup, push down, push up, golden cockerel. Start the spiral up higher to push down and come up. Down, semicircle, do your danten. Tuck the elbows and follow your kick. Semicircle, energy to the center and distribute it out. Holding your ball on a T stance, we're going to ward off our opponent and forearm him. Set that space. Turn the hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. As you sit down, sit back, look back. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, push from the center. Separate the energy and roll back and sit down. Spiral up, then forward. Sit down, sit back, twist. Ball. Out. Ward off. Turn hips and waist, reposition hands. Grasp the bird's tail, turn at the hips and waist to look back. Turn again and push forward. Separate the hands and roll back. Sit down, spiral up, then forward. Twist, twist, in, shift weight, cross, close the feet, rotate hands, bring him in, push him away. Separate, drop shoulders, flex your knees as gravity takes care as you close your forearm. Okay, one turn for me now. Okay?